Hi, everybody. Hi, Gladys.
Good
Welcome.
morning.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here. Part of Messiah Lutheran Church's mission and purpose is to love our neighbors right here in the community of Mechanicsville, surrounding areas. And part of how we live that mission is to shine a spotlight on organizations that do work, ministries, agencies that are doing good work in the community already. We want our community to get connected to you at MCEF and to find ways that they can receive services from MCEF and also how they can help serve at MCEF. And so that is what we're talking about today. Gladys Hubert is here from MCEF. What does MCEF stand for?
MCEF stands for Mechanicsville Church's Emergency Functions.
Okay. And that is a little bit of a mouthful.
That's a mouthful, so MCEF works well, and the community seems to understand MCEF, and they know what.
That's good. So thank you again for coming and doing this.
Thank you.
Tell us about MCEF and how does it serve the community?
MCEF started almost 50 years ago. It was started by 3 churches for helping people with Thanksgiving meals. And it has grown from there to expand and include, in addition to food, all the time, clothing, financial services, and more recently, Hanover Senior Rides program for seniors.
Tell me about the one-stop shop.
The one-stop shop has been in existence for 5 years. Before that, the food pantry was in a little utility building behind one church. Another church had adult clothing. Another church had children's clothing. Another church had infant clothing. If people wanted to go to these other places, they had to make appointments. It was not always convenient. The food pantry was open 3 different days a week with varying hours, but the hours were always consistent. People could always come food, but any of the other services were by appointment.
And the one-stop shop is just as the name sounds.
The one-stop shop is now a do-it-all right here.
Yeah. So there's food
and clothing at the one-stop shop.
A little bit of toiletries.
Some toiletries, some paper products, things that you would normally buy on your grocery shopping list.
And then you can call in for senior rides. There's other assistance program.
Yes, there are 2 separate phone numbers that are cell phones that are manned by volunteers. All of the MCEF folks that work for the organization are volunteers. No one is paid. One phone handles financial assistance questions, and the other phone handles the driver's senior rides program.
What is your role at MCEF?
My role at MCEF started out working in the food pantry, and shortly after I started working in the food pantry, my husband started volunteering in the food pantry and got involved in the higher-ups of MCEF. He became president of the organization at the next organizational meeting and has been president ever since. They call me the First Lady. Then having worked with the food part, when MCEF became a one-stop shop, I got involved in the clothing part. And then in 2016, I became involved in the Senior Rides program. I'm a driver of the Senior Rides program.
If folks wanted to volunteer with MCEF or become a part of the organization, how can they support the work that you're all?
First of all, a lot of information is online. It's the number 4 mcef.com. There are areas that describe what we do. There is an area with forms that if they're interested in being a volunteer in any way, they can fill out the volunteer form and get it to us, give it to anyone who works for MCEF, or bring it to the office, mail it, however they want to get it to us. There are a lot of things that can be done at home. There are coordinators for the senior rides program that rarely come to the one-stop shop. There's no need for them to come. There are a number of, currently it's all ladies who take the calls for the financial assistance home. And they don't come to the one-stop shop. So there's things to do that don't even involve leaving your home. If you're a driver, yes, you do leave your home. You take people places to doctor's appointments, grocery shopping, the bank, essential services that you can't do without. This enables seniors to live in their homes longer, independently, because they either don't have family or neighbors who can drop what they're doing to take them the places that they need to go so they can maintain their lifestyle in their own home.
Which is important.
Which is very important. Seniors don't like to have changes.
No.
And if there's no one to take them, there's no other contact, they may need to go into a nursing home of some sort, depending on what their finances are.
Even if they don't maybe physically need.
And if they don't physically need to do that, this assists them in maintaining their lifestyle as they're hoping.
So there's plenty of ways to volunteer with MCEF at home, at the place, as often or seldom.
Yes, none of the jobs, if you will, require a certain number of hours, or it's all what you're available to do. Through the food pantry, we use Sign Up Genius, and you sign up for the slots that you can fill. For the senior rides, you only take the rides that fit your schedule. If you have something else going on a Monday and there's a ride available on Monday, one of the other drivers will.
And you can also on the website find the current needs for both the food pantry and clothing.
Yes.
What you're looking.
Yes, and that is updated at least monthly at the weekly or the monthly board meeting.
So you've already said I had a question. What gifts would be helpful for a person to have? Any variety of gifts that you can.
Variety of gifts. Just basically a willingness to be there for people and help them.
Now Gladys is a member of Messiah, a member of the church. I know, and I know that you are passionate about MCEF and the work that's done there. What is it? Why is that? Why are you passionate about MCEF?
I meet a lot of really nice people, especially I can't say especially in the rides, because there's a lot of nice people that come to the food pantry too. You get to know these people and learn their stories, their history, and it just does me good to know that I've done something for them to help them along the way.
It's not just you're the provider and they're the customer.
No, it goes both ways. It goes both ways. There are, I can think of any number of people that I'm so happy that I've met and that I've been able to help.
We covered this a little. If folks have more questions, if they want more information, they want to volunteer, for mcef.com is the website. I believe there's also a phone number that they could call.
There is a phone number. It's listed on the website.
Okay. We got brochures too.
Or we have brochures. For general information, phone is 804-357-4093.
Thank you. You can pause and go back if you need to hear that again. We don't need to repeat it. Is there anything else you'd like folks to know about MCEF and what's done there, how they can be a part?
I think we've pretty much covered it all. I just really enjoy being there. I enjoy being with the volunteers, the times that we're preparing for the clients to come in. It just keeps me busy, and I look forward to it every time I'm going.
And I know that during the pandemic, there was a surplus of stuff there and resources. A lot of other organizations and programs started to help, but I know that that's also starting to fade and the demand is going up. So donations, volunteers, definitely.
The demand is going up. We especially need drivers for the program. Older older drivers have possibly moved away, some have had health issues, so our number of drivers has decreased. We currently have about 120 riders who seek services from us. And last month, the number of rides we gave was 169. So do the math.
Yeah.
But there is no, for a driver, there is no required number of rides. Some months I might do 10, some months I might do 2. It all depends on my schedule and what's available that meets my schedule.
Well, thank you so much again for being here, for sharing this information. MCEF does a lot of things, reaches a lot of people, is very responsive. So I want to thank you for the work they do too.
One thing we didn't mention was we are supported by between 35 and 40 churches.
Say that, I forgot.
Yeah, between 35 and 40 churches in the Mechanicsville area that support us in some way.
And it started with 3.
It started with 3. Messiah Lutheran, our neighbors, Church of the Redeemer, and the Episcopal Church of the Creator on 360.
Yeah, and now we're up to getting close to 40. So
close to 40. Yes.
You don't have to be a part of a church to help, but if you are a part of a church, you can ask through your organization.
A lot of businesses do contribute in ways. Also, another mission, Tools for Teachers.
That's right.
Providing supplies for teachers that usually they have to take money out of their pockets for and spend. Last month, I think it was it $2,000 worth? It was in the $2,000 or $3,000 worth of supplies were delivered to schools in Mechanicsville.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
The needs are there, and MCEF is trying. So
yes.
Thank you, Gladys.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. All right. Stay tuned for more community service connections. We've been doing about 1 a month, so we'll try to keep this going, connecting you to other organizations and groups in the community so that you can receive the services and help volunteer. Thank you.